A common saying is, don't hate the player, hate the game. But I say fuck that shit. I don't hate Hakuryuu, but I wouldn't blame you if you did. He's gotta be someone at level 5 self-insert OC or some shit like that. Cause who in their right mind thought it was even remotely okay to release this motherfucker into the wild? I'm actively frothing at the mouth while I write this shit. I can confidently say with my entire chest that he's one of the top 5 most dominant characters in the history of the mainline Inazuma 11 games, and some may even say he's number 1. Hakuryuu's damage output and offensive prowess is a borderline issue. We've covered stats so much on this channel, so I'm not going to get too deep into them in this video, but his stats are objectively great in every game he's in. Look at this shit. He has the highest raw kick stat in Go 1, great technique stats, good speed and dribble stats, and if we zone in on Galaxy, he has 240 freedom, on top of his already monstrous stats. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but players are not made equal. Based on stats alone, his striking capabilities absolutely decimate a lot of the best keepers. Let's take Go Galaxy. According to this website's database, Hakuryuu with his maximum natural invested kick stat of 423 beats all of these keepers. Keep in mind this list is of the objectively best keepers based on stats, and in terms of his real value, he beats all of these too. This is editing T-Byte here. As far as I'm aware, the website doesn't explain what real value is, and me being a dumb bitch, I didn't explain it either, I just said it and moved on. But it's basically a simplified portion taken from the formula from how like base power is calculated. That's a shit explanation. It's basically power calculation in its simplest form, and real value is calculated by taking the main stat. So if you're a striker, like your kick stat, midfielder, dribble stat, and so on and so on, and adding a quarter of the technique stat to it. But yeah, thank you for your time. Back to the video. But the real question is, can he beat Goku though? And I'd say fucking probably. Something to keep in mind is, this has just been stats and not even a super in-depth look. We've barely scratched the crack cocaine littered surface of what makes Bylong such a fucking broken character. Hakuryuu's toolkit is fucking insane. This applies less to mainline competitive and instead to strikers players who enjoy ROM hackish, modded playthroughs, or if you're playing through Go Chronostone's Thunder Flash story, since it follows the manga and uses Hakuryuu instead of Taiyo. His nutty toolkit consists of a few things such as chain shots, dribbles, and block shots, which are all fine and well balanced mechanics. They allow Hakuryuu to play well as a striker, in midfield, and as a shot blocking defender. Now this is all well and good. What's wrong with being a versatile player? Absolutely nothing. But what is wrong is how busted this bitch gets when you combine this with his other 3 parts of his toolkit, his aura mechanics. Hakuryuu has access to a few Keshin, these being his signature Shining Dragon, which in Go Galaxy is technique force, meaning it boosts his overall power and raw value. And he has the fucking busted fusion Keshin Seikishi Arthur, which in mainline increases his kick stat by a further 200 units while it's active. Cause I guess having 423 as your maximum natural invested kick stat wasn't enough. And finally he has however the fuck you pronounce the dub name of Hakuryuu, which increases the entire team's chance of stealing the ball without a commando. And all 3 of these spirits have quite powerful moves as well to boot, with Arthur being a void type and having a void type move too, so if he pulls up to your goal with that shit, you might as well lock your doors and pray for forgiveness. He also has access to Keshin Armed, which is quite valuable in strikers, straight up game breaking in Chronostones, and great for putting extreme teams in their place in Go Galaxy competition routes. And finally he has Miximax. I've taken a more detailed look into it in the previous video, so I won't waste your time here. But in strikers, this is a phenomenal tool to have. Not only does it give you access to a strong move and just objectively makes your player much stronger, but it can be used as a way to shut down defensive players and offensive pushers, since the animation straight up cancels literally every Hisatsu technique that's active at the time. Furthermore, unlike the main series, not everyone has access to it, so Hakuryuu having access to it means he stands above a shitload of other characters that are meant for the same role. We've also gone over perfect mixes, so I won't get into that shit too. But in Go Chronostones, he has quite a few perfect mixes, and the stat boost in Go 2 from a perfect mix is much greater than a regular mix. And he has multiple of these, with some good skills too. Which leads into the next point. And I know what I just said about I'm not gonna get much into mainline competitive, so we'll talk about this from a more casual point of view. But we can't not talk about the abomination that this part of his toolkit enables. Spirit triple big moves. We've also gone over this in a previous video too, but I couldn't not mention it. This shit is fucking insane. In Go Galaxy, Spirit big moves doubles the Keshin move's power while only increasing the cost by 20%. And he can get 3 stacks of this shit by mixing maxing with Surgi. The power level that this shit allows him to reach is fucking absurd. Now imagine this with any of his Keshins that he has access to. With some Keshin Economy 2, you can get off a triple Spirit big move Sword Excalibur from Seikishi Arthur. And keep in mind you're getting a plus 200 to your kickstat as well, with the triple Spirit big moves too. And that shit's a void type move, so they can't really do much about it element wise either. And you see where I'm going with this shit, so I'm gonna shut up about it now. Finally, this bitch is an air type striker. I can confidently say, based on zero fucking research, that there are a shitload of earth defenders and goalkeepers, cause it's the type that best suits defense and holding it down in the back. Furthermore, a lot of the fan favorite goalkeepers and defenders are earth type. We're talking Endo, Shinsuke, Kabiyama, Rokuko, and many more. So he has an immediate advantage going into a command duel. I'm fucking convinced that Konoha is a wood type as strong as she is, just so Hakuryuu can't make it to the goal with his bullshit. There's a few things in this video I've missed, since I'm trying my best not to repeat shit I've said in previous videos as much. But there is more to his bullshit, but that can be discussed on a different day. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for your time. Consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and have a great day.
Now this just in, police officers in Lancaster, Pennsylvania were asking people to be on the lookout for a man who robbed a store. And I think we do have his description. Can we take that? Let's take his description.